just finished the book?
Yes, I finished this book. Oh god, it's so beautiful on there. Like, it's so red. Stunning. It's almost like more beautiful than it really like it is a beautiful cover though. I really like this, but then I noticed that there's a person on the cover and I was like, no. Like, have fun looking for it. My god. This book was so good. So good.
I've heard you talk about it so many times. It seems
Yes.
so freaking dark.
It
like
is
the darkest stuff I've
extremely-
ever heard.
Yeah, like this is. First of all, I picked it up because I heard it was supposed to be dark. And normally when people say dark, they mean like dark. Like, I don't know, like I'm usually disappointed because it's never as dark as I want it to be. This is dark. Like, this was actually, yeah, like really, really, like really dark. It got really fucked up, creepy, uncomfortable. Like, I was uncomfortable the entire time, but like in a good way. Like, that's what I want out of a book like this.
And that, like, such a good horror movie that makes you feel uneasy, but you just want to keep watching it.
So uneasy, disgusted, hate, absolutely hate the main character. Like, god, I wanted him to die. Like, but like in a good way. Like, that's the point. You're not supposed to like him. Like, he's awful. Like, all of them are awful, horrible. But like, that's part of why it's so good. Because like, it's just this, I can't even, like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it's like super short as well. This is like literally like 200 pages. 217, 18, whatever pages. It's super short and extremely powerful. Very effective. Very, like, there was a lot in here. Like, there was a lot. And it's just so, like, you just hate them and you just can't believe how awful they are. But like, that's kind of the point. And it was just like so creepy. I feel like if you liked Jeffrey Dahmer, like Dahmer on Netflix, whatever, you will love this one. Because if you thought he was a creepy dude, like, I mean, obviously he was awful, but like, there's more of that in this one, basically. A lot of Jeffrey Dahmers.
Wow. Okay.
Like, a lot. And like, the whole world is Jeffrey Dahmer, basically. And it's just creepy. It's very, I do want to say though, like, this book is not for the sensitive. I feel like a lot of people probably hate this one because it is awful. Like, I feel like everyone that was giving them like bad reviews and stuff that I read anyway were like, oh, this was disgusting, I didn't like it. I'm like, yeah, of course it was disgusting. That was the whole point.
Yeah,
like,
that's
yes, that's what it's supposed to be. Like, if you weren't disgusted when reading it, you're probably part of the problem. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you're supposed to hate the main character. You're supposed to. Like, he's horrible human being. Selfish, cold, mean, a cheater. He's disgusting. Like, he's supposed,
all the good stuff.
Yeah, like, he's really horrible and you're supposed to hate him. So like, all these people that were like giving a low rating because they didn't like the main character, I'm like, is there a single person that liked the main character? Then I'm scared because he's horrible.
Do you think they don't like him not because he's such a bad person, but like, because it's badly written or something?
But I don't think it was badly written because like, clearly we hate him. It was like clearly well done, but like, I also feel like I saw some reviews were talking about that the author was like sexist and like talking about women in a bad way, but like, that was also like, I don't think the author thinks that way about women. It's just that in this world they do think that way, and like, that to me just got me upset because like, clearly that was the point they're trying to make, like, that this world were horrible towards women and children, and I mean all of them, but in particularly women. And I think that was like the point that the author tried to make it with it, and I just feel like people misunderstood and thought that the author actually felt that way and saw women that way. I definitely don't believe that, not at all. I think it was just trying to show and prove a point, like, this book just had something to say, and you're supposed to be angry, you're supposed to be like, you know, questioning it and thinking it's fucked up, you're supposed to be like, no, that's not okay. You're supposed to not agree with it. Like, clearly, like, who would ever agree with this world? Like, obviously not. It's horrible. And it's just...
Yeah, like, I remember, like, I think on the back of the book somewhere, it's like, it's sort of with a question.
Yeah, it starts with the question, if everyone was eating human meat, would you? And I mean, that alone is like, this is such a good... Like, when I read that, I was like, yeah, I'm here for it. Like, I'm gonna read this book. Like, I don't even care what more is happening. But I also saw like one review that was talking about the back of the book as well, and they were talking about like on the back of the book it says, but she haunts Marco's, her trembling body and watchful gaze seem to understand, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved. And I think it's supposed to be like when you read this without having read the book, you take it a certain way of what is going to happen, what this book is about. But when you have actually read the book, you understand a whole nother meaning of what is actually on the back of the book. But you don't know that until the very end of the book. And I thought that was genius. But that person that wrote the review was like, oh, the back of the book was so misleading. But like, that was kind of like, that's the point of it. Like, and that part to me was just genius. Like, I love that they like trick you kind of on the back of the book, because like at the end is like, you know, all explained or whatever, and I just love that. I loved the ending so much. Like, it made me happy. Like, it was just fucked up, but like, I love a good ending. And like obviously, like, I'm sorry, but it's no spoiler, this isn't a happy book, it's no happy ending. Like, obviously, like, what is it supposed to be happy about this? Yeah, they stopped eating meat. Like, no, it's sad, it's horrible, it's not gonna be a happy ending. So if you love those, this isn't a book for you. But if you, like me, love sad, horrible endings, this is it. Like, I love this book so much. It was so good. And like, again, it's like super short, so it goes really quick to read, and has this different writing style, kind of like a little bit poetic, but also very like straightforward. It's like a good mix of it. And again, like, I hated the characters so much, but like, that was like, I enjoyed hating them. Like, you're supposed to. Yeah, exactly. Like, and she made it so well. You really like, you get so angry at these people. Like, it's just.
We always like a good villain, you know, a good bad guy.
I love a good villain. Like, I really like. And like, it's really sad as well. Like, it's really obvious. Like, obviously, it's a sad world they're in, and it deals with a lot of like grief and isolation and like cheating and like a lot of just really heavy, sad topics. And I just, yeah, just so good. And I also want to say that this also got some bad reviews, because they there is some scenes in this when there's not just humans that are tortured and stuff, there's also animals that are tortured. So if you're not here for that,
no.
Yes. So if you're not okay with that, definitely, like that part, like reading about the animals being tortured was like...
I remember you telling me about the cute animals.
Yes.
Oh god.
And it broke my heart, absolutely. Like, I barely could read like that part. It's just...
But was it the guy?
It wasn't the guy.
No,
it was some other... yeah, it was not... It was not...
At least.
Yeah, at least. He was angry at the people that did it. So,
understandably so, like...
He was. So, good for him. But like, yeah, that was like the only good part he did, basically. But yeah, it's definitely... And it's very explained as well. It's not just like, okay, the animals died. Like, it was really horrible reading that part. Yeah. In so many moments in this book, I was like, wow, this is dark. And then I was like, wow, this book just keeps getting darker. And then again, it just keeps getting even more dark and sad and awful. And like, when you think you reach like a... You know, okay, I know what's in this book now, but then it's like a new level of dark and awful, and it just keeps going until the very end part as well, which is also super dark, not happy. and I loved it. I love this book so much.